Yes, everyone, good morning. It is Sunday the 3rd of August. Manchester United play their last tour game tonight at the States Tour. We are looking for 3 wins in a row and wrapping up the Premier League series. Then we'll be back home tomorrow. There is bigger things happening off the pitch, though. Manchester United, we're all excited to see them play. We will be covering that later on this evening, everybody. The watch-along is on tonight, so make sure that you're tuned in. More information on that in the evening show. Yes, jam-packed shows throughout the day today, keeping you up to date. I think we're going to need to be kept up to date because it looks like there is big movement with Benjamin Sesco overnight. Fabrizio Romano has given us more information on what's happening. His agent is now in. Is this decision coming today? Are we at that point now where it is time to make that call? Benjamin Sesco, all the updates on him starting off this morning as well. The information that we're getting and what everybody is putting out on Rasmus Hojlund is getting even more intriguing now, with United taking a low ball offer just to get rid of him. He is desperate to stay, though. All of that to come in. I don't know if this is going to fall into line with what's happening with Benjamin Sesco. We don't know if there's going to be anything to do with a make weight or a Part X on this. He doesn't want to go Leipzig, but we'll go through all of the news from what's happened over in the States with all the journalists and what they've been talking about over there. On top of Romano with another update. It's like he has to do an update twice, 3 times a day now. We brought you what he said yesterday afternoon. Benjamin Sesco's bid from Newcastle and everything like that. We've got more to bring you this morning as well. Bruno Fernandes's last year at Manchester United. We're going to touch on that across 2 shows today because we are flying across to football talks as well straight after this. So you've got double shows this morning, everybody. So grab your coffee, get into the live chat, get talking to people in there, get your conversations going, and of course, get your comments in on all of the topics that we're talking about here on Forever United TV this morning. I'm Adam. Welcome along to the show, everyone. It is here. It is here. Officially 2 weeks today, the Premier League season starts. Now, I'm sorry, look, I'm counting down from 2 weeks. That's close. We want everything in place. Today, we're going to see Brian Mbeumo and Matthias Cunha start their first game together for Manchester United. We're going to find out probably what's happening with Benjamin Sesco. Is he going to be the final piece of that jigsaw that Ruben's trying to build for his forward line this summer? We're going to get all of that in one day today. It's going to be jam-packed. You need to be on top of it. I've got you covered, of course. I've got a really busy day myself away from the camera as well with football and everything else going on. It's just going to be one of the mental ones today. But last night, let's get into the news. Let's talk about Benjamin Sesco and what happened. Fabrizio Romano was all over everything that was going on last night. We've actually got a Garnacho update as well. I'm going to get an opinion on him. I think that one right now, I think it's getting to a point where it's riling fans. But an update from Fabrizio Romano when it came to Garnacho. We're going to bring you that as well. But Romano did another video last night. I know it's another video because in his first one, it was light outside. You could see out of his window. The second one, it was nighttime. So yeah, second video. And he is constantly updating everybody on what's happening with Benjamin Sesco. He talked about everything that had happened yesterday like he did in his previous video. He went through all of the information from the Newcastle side of things, but he said he had 2 more points to make that have changed on the Benjamin Sesco from yesterday afternoon to where we are this morning. Them 2 points are key because he has now said that his agent, that being Benjamin Sesco's agent, first of all, is now in place and he's ready to go with talks on Benjamin Sesco. He has just finalised the deal. He's now in Leipzig, in Germany, to go over everything that's, well, decision-wise, everything that Benjamin Sesco wants to do. We've been waiting for his agent to arrive, and now we're in place. We know exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be like Romano said over the coming days. Is this now Sunday? Is it today that we find out everything we need to know about Benjamin Sesco? That decision, that all-important one, because in this video as well, Fabrizio Romano has actually said that obviously it is still down to Benjamin Sesco. And when you look at it, everything that's been said before from Romano, he said it in his video. He said, I said it's not going to be today. It's not going to be the day after today. He keeps on moving it along, obviously. But I think he's been waiting in knowledge and speaking to Sesco's agent. I'm guessing is what he's been doing. And knowing that the agent is actually coming into town today, yesterday in fact, to make these decisions. I think this is what we've been waiting for, and I think that's kind of been covered up by Benjamin Sesco taking his time and what he actually wants to do. I think now is when we find out for certain. His agent comes in, obviously now we can communicate. Romano obviously as well was talking about Manchester United's approach after what happened with Newcastle's bid going in yesterday. And everything that's happened now on the discussion side of things with Benjamin Sesco, everything that's gone forward and what we've spoken about, Manchester United again, last night Roamno said, was in talks with RB Leipzig over the deal for Manchester United to take Benjamin Sesco this summer. They were talking to the club last night and have reassured Leipzig that the bid is ready to go. All we want is the official yes from Benjamin Sesco, and this deal will come. But the biggest thing to take from this, the biggest thing to actually go into on what Roamno said, and I think everyone's jumped onto this last night and early this morning, is that the agent is now in place for Benjamin Sesco to finalise this deal. He needed his agent to be there to obviously communicate and obviously go over the details of per contract and what's not. Roamno said he's just finalised another deal for another client, and now he's here. Full concentration is now on Sesco and signing that contract to whichever club he wants to go. Newcastle are out of the picture if Manchester United are accepted by Benjamin Sesco, or if Benjamin Sesco picks United, Newcastle are out. There was that gentleman's agreement that Roamno was talking about. Now, it is thought that the gentleman's agreement, and this was news also last night, that Roamno was talking about between Benjamin Sesco and Leipzig, that if Benjamin Sesco comes to Leipzig with a club that he wants to join, which he classes as a special club. There are certain clubs, there is a small group of clubs. This is very similar to Victor Gyökeres and what he had. And so if Sesco goes to Leipzig and says it's Manchester United, then that gentleman's agreement kicks in. There is no bidding war. There is nothing like that. Like Sky Germany, like we were saying last night, there is no bidding war for Benjamin Sesco. It's not going to happen because Newcastle, and this came from Ben Jacobs last night, Newcastle are not thought to be on the special list. They're on the naughty list, I'm afraid. No, I'm only joking. It was the only thing that I could think of when that came into my head then. But Newcastle are not on the list of clubs that this deal can work for. So, to break it down again, Roamno actually 5 days ago actually broke down this deal, and he's just reiterated it again, the gentleman's agreement. So if Sesco goes and says Man United is my club, United are on this list, then it's 70 to 80 million euros in terms of guaranteed, and then 5 to 10 million euros in add-ons on top. So what will Manchester United manage to negotiate? Will it be the 5 million add-ons and 70 million euros? That would be handy. Or are Leipzig going to push for the 80 million euros and 10 million in add-ons? You'd expect something in between. You'd expect something in the region, I reckon, around about, I reckon, 75 million euros as your down payment, which takes it under 70 million. And then you're looking at probably 5 million add-ons, which won't be easy to get. I think that's where Manchester United are probably at. And people asking the question as to why Manchester United would spend that much when they've just bought Matthias Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo, like prime, ready to go, Prem-proven quality, and we're paying less for them than Benjamin Sesco. Well, United can spread the cost of this one even bigger. And I think that's what Manchester United will do. They know that they've got, in a few years' time, a massive sell-on factor with Benjamin Sesco. Well, we hope it is going to be. There's never a guarantee, and remember that. This is where the Rasmus Hojlund conversation comes in, and why United are looking. United are not risking it as such. It is a risk, actually, so I don't know what I'm saying there. It is a risk buying a player in 22 with no Premier League experience, but this obviously is where this conversation comes about. United are happy to spread the cost out for Benjamin Sesco. If they're convinced that he's the striker that they want, it's going to fit into their system. Vivel and Ruben Amorim, like we said yesterday, pushing on this deal, desperately wanting Benjamin Sesco in at United now, that they will look at a 22-year-old, spread them costs out, and still have a lot of money on top of it. It's not a problem for United to spend more on Sesco than it is for Bryan Mbeumo and Matthias Cunha. Them two, obviously, mid-20s, 25, 26, both of them players in their prime. Obviously, they've got 4 years on top of Benjamin Sesco when it comes to the age factor. And obviously, their deals will go to a certain point, and they'll still be valuable when they hit their 29s and things like that. But Manchester United have plenty of time with Benjamin Sesco, which is why they would spend more on a 22-year-old. If they feel like he is the same sort of quality, the same characteristics as what they're buying in Mbeumo and Cunha, then they're happy to spend a lot more money. Well, just to round up the Benjamin Sesco situation there, Newcastle are not on the list. Newcastle are not on that gentleman's agreement list, the special clubs. They're not special enough, it would seem, for Benjamin Sesco. So they would have to spend a lot of money. Hence why they have already made a bid outside of that. Well, it's sort of inside that, but it's been rejected. So reasoning behind the rejection from Leipzig is that Newcastle, they're not on that list. So they're going to stick to what they think the valuation is of Benjamin Sesco right now. There's only them special circumstances for certain teams, and United are thought to be one of them teams. As you'd expect, United still carry a lot of clout and a lot of weight when it comes to big clubs. And so United are in the top 3 in the world. Newcastle are just not. So they're going to have to bid above and beyond, but this is a very strong agreement in what Roamno said between the player, the agent and Leipzig, and this will be honoured. These are the noises that are coming from Fabrizio and what's happening with this deal right now. So United are in a prime position right now and have always known about this position. So if Sesco says, think about it, if Sesco says he wants Manchester United, then United are going to go in and bid within them regions. And they know that that has to be spoken about and negotiated. They have to take in that fact of that gentleman's agreement, Leipzig, on this. So that's why United are waiting. It's pointless United actually bidding or even trying to match Newcastle's bid at the moment, because they might be able to get it cheaper. And if there's always a chance you could get a better deal, you're going to go for it. This is why Manchester United are holding off, because Benjamin Sesko has to go to Leipzig and tell them. This is why Ben Jacobs has said that they have now told Sesco, United this is, to go and tell Leipzig and push for this deal. This is the situation where we're at. Sesco could still choose Newcastle. He could still go for Newcastle. They have put their project forward. It's a very good project like we spoke about yesterday, but it's been rejected outright by Leipzig already. They're just not going to give them the time of day at that sort of money and that valuation. Let's not forget, this whole package, what Newcastle have offered Leipzig, is in the region 69.5 million, I think it is. So it's just shy of 70 million. That is big money. That is massive money, in fact. And that's with everything included. So that alone, I think, is a good starting block. I think Manchester United will probably be looking to try and wrap this deal in at around 65 to 70 million, somewhere in between. And I think that gets the deal done for them. I think Leipzig are happy with that. Whether or not then we could move into the realms of getting the likes of Rasmus Hojlund thrown in for the deal. He has made it clear he doesn't want to go to Leipzig. We spoke about that yesterday. All of that will then be brought into discussions, I think. We're just waiting for the green light today. I think the deal with the agent of Benjamin Sesko being now at Leipzig ready to go is probably going to be very, very close to being finalised. And I think that's the position what United have been waiting for. And that's what we've been holding off on. So let's just wait out today. I think there is going to be a lot more going on with Manchester United and Benjamin Sesko today. The news is going to be a very, very, I think detailed, thick, fast. I think everything, like I said, over the last few days, I think everything has been discussed already. I think it's a case of just the decisions, and it goes bang, 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 all the way down the line. We start to get all of the information coming through. We start to get all of the details that have been spoken about over the last, let's just say, the last 2 weeks. This is what's been negotiated behind the scenes. We're not going to know about it because United have always been waiting for the Benjamin Sesko side of things to be decided. So get all of the negotiations done and talk about everything that needs to be finalised and settled. Get all of the personal terms done. That is thought to have already been agreed. And not a problem. So you get all of that in. I think that's then in that position. You're looking at Manchester United comfortably, I feel, then ready to go with the financial package. Now, we haven't bid for Benjamin Sesko yet. This is the only thing. It's like Leipzig, are Leipzig actually going to accept what United's offer is? Do we know what Manchester United's offer actually is yet for Benjamin Sesko? No, we don't. And that, I think, is the only thing now. I think the only thing now that we can actually look at and say really is the biggest concern. Are Manchester United really going to lowball the bid of Newcastle with that gentleman's agreement in place behind the scenes? Are we actually going to be looking at United try and negotiate a very low deal for Benjamin Sesko, and Leipzig tell us where to go. Therefore, bringing Newcastle back into the fray. Therefore, making Benjamin Sesko, after all of this and waiting for Manchester United, they don't have the money to buy him. And does that put the player off? And he goes, well, I sod you then. I've waited for you. You said you want me. And all of a sudden, like, you've not got the money to buy, to pay for me. Then I'm going to go across. United need to be careful, because this isn't just us in this bid. Like, we were bidding and negotiating hard when it came to Bryan Mbeumo. And we know what stance we had with him. We know where we were at. And we know exactly who was in the fray. He didn't want anybody else. Benjamin Sesko on his side of things, and I think obviously talking to Manchester United on this one, I think now United are in a excuse me, United are in a position here where they need to convince Benjamin Sesko that they have got this bid ready. They're going to have shown something to Benjamin Sesko to convince him that they're going for him. United cannot go into this now and go, right, bang, there's 60 million. It's just not going to cut it, is it? I mean, they could try it. If they go down the road of, I keep doing this and I keep forgetting how to what the actual exchange actually is. So let's just say, for instance, we go in with that 70 million euros in pounds is 61 million. So if, for instance, Manchester United go, right, this gentleman's agreement is between 70 and 80 million euros down as a payment. That's the initial one. And you got 5 million euros. Manchester United could go in and say, right, there you go. There's 61 million quid. And go low, which is your 70 million euros. And then offer the 5 million in add-ons, which takes it to 65. I reckon we're going to be getting Benjamin Sesko in at about 67, 68 million. If you go off what Roamno said with that gentleman's agreement, I think that's where it's at. And obviously, Manchester United have that card and they have the upper hand because they've got Christopher Vivel in their corner. And I think that's where Manchester United would have been negotiating and finding out what is going to get this deal done. You go in and, you know, there's 70 to 80 million as a down payment is going to get this deal done for Manchester United. What number is going to make that happen? They're the sort of negotiations you'd expect to be going on behind the scenes right now. What number is going to make that happen? Vivel's in there. He's asking the question, what's it going to take to get this moving along or moving along quickly? There'll be a number, and United will probably negotiate in, well, how about this number and then this amount of add-ons on top of it? So say, for instance, you go in with the lower offer of 61 million, and then you say, well, we'll give you the maximum add-ons, which is 10 million euros. So it ends up being 80 million euros for Benjamin Sesko in total, but then that brings it down to under 70 million quid overall. United are not putting as big a down payment on him, and they can spread the cost of them payments out over 4 years like we did with Bryan Mbeumo, and all of a sudden you've got a player in place there for 15 million quid a year. That's where Manchester United's negotiations, I think, are at the moment, and I think it's all about that one number that gets the deal done and gets negotiations moving. Are United prepared to give Leipzig what they want straight out and move this along? And like I said, if you're Benjamin Sesko, you'd expect Manchester United right now to be coming in with a very strong bid, wouldn't you, to get this moving? If he's going to commit to United, he has to have had commitment from. He's going to have had commitment from them in that their bid is ready to go. They have told Leipzig and Roamno and Plettenberg, and everybody has said that Leipzig have told Manchester United that the bid is coming. We just want Sesko to say yes. They better have a decent bid ready, otherwise it's going to be embarrassing for us. Right, into the chat we go. That's all of the information that I can think of there that has come out overnight. Get your comments in, get your thoughts in on that into the live chat now. We'll start things off with the super chats that have dropped in. First of all, thank you very much, Brits Abroad. Love that, mates. Morning, Adam. Let's hope this is true. I can't believe the amount of Reds wanting to keep Hojlund. All I can say is, have you forgotten how crap he was? And we finished 15th because he can't score. I wouldn't say it was all down to Hojlund. I'll back your comment up there by saying I do remember that Rasmus Hojlund was not good enough last season. I've said this all along. But again, could he be a good number 2 for Manchester United? Yes, he could. I'll get on to Rasmus Hojlund in a minute, actually. Thank you very much for that super chat. Thank you indeed, Brits Abroad. Andreas in with a super chat as well there. Sorry, YouTube is not giving me the full names on the thing. Even when I click on it, it's stupid. It doesn't help me at all. I'm trying to read the first 2 letters of people's names here and then trying to bring them up. Not helping me at all, YouTube here. I think he means Sesco. I hope S can come in now. And what's happening with the new goalkeeper, midfielder? What's the chance for us to be in the top 5 this year? Very good chance to be in the top 5. The midfielder, I'm coming on to in a moment. So bear with me on that one, Andreas. The goalkeeper, calm at the moment. No news at all on the goalkeeping side of things. Mojo with another super chat. This week, Sesco has to get done, but I would prefer it if we kept Hojlund as well. We are left with 4 weeks of the window. We need to move to the midfielder and goalkeeper targets. This is what I'm saying here. Thanks for the super chat again, Mojo. Absolute legend, my man. In terms of the situation with Manchester United needing to move on with targets, this is what I mean by Benjamin Sesko having that bid ready and how quickly we can get this deal done. If United have everything in line, there's nothing more to negotiate. Personal terms agreed. Now it's down to the structure of the deal. They would have been talking about this with Leipzig. You'd be stupid not to. Because this whole deal has been based around United having constant communication with Leipzig and just waiting to now go with Benjamin Sesko's say-so. That's it. So you'd expect United to be ready to bid. So I would fully think that United now have that bid ready. That's moved forward quickly. Benjamin Sesko's not playing for Leipzig, so he's obviously committed to leaving. He's got a decision made. Everybody all together here in the communication side of things that's been going on for 2 weeks now must know that everything is in place and ready to click. Otherwise, it's going to be a drawn-out saga again, and nobody's going to be happy or in place. United need to move on to other targets, like Mojo said. Sesko wants to be playing football integrated into the biggest move of his career. And United, really, want him in for the start of the season. Because you've got to make a decision then on Rasmus Hojlund, who we're going to move on to now. Rather amortised Baleba over 5 years, personally. I think that will come next season, mate, with Baleba or Wharton, one of them players. I think we're looking at another type of midfielder this summer. If United, honestly, if United went in and bought Baleba, which I can't see happening, I would be, I don't know. I don't know how happy I would be. I can't even describe how happy I would actually be if that actually happened. In from TalkSport this morning quickly, Rasmus Hojlund has made it clear he does not want to join RB Leipzig in place of Benjamin Sesko. He wants to fight for his place at Manchester United. Honestly, if I'm Rasmus Hojlund, I don't want to go to RB Leipzig. I don't blame Rasmus Hojlund. He's at his boyhood club and he's in a position where he is United's top striker at the moment. He wants to prove himself. I think he will be better with another striker next to him. But I'm sorry, sometimes clubs have to make calls and sacrifices must be made. Rasmus Hojlund, I feel, needs a loan. I think he needs a loan. I personally think a loan would be perfect for him. And I think if it's not Leipzig, it's another club, he comes back even better. And there's another option for Manchester United next summer. I don't think we need desperately 2 strikers this season. I would like 2 strikers because I'm scared that we're going to get the same old injury situations. And honestly, I feel right now, I don't think, and I've seen this from the chat, and someone mentioned it there before, I think it was Brits Abroad, in how bad Rasmus was last season. But I also feel like there's a lot of this fan base that are coming around to the idea that Rasmus could actually play a part this season for Manchester United. And I do think that there is a thought in Manchester United that Rasmus will also play a part for United. But they're not going to allow him to get in the way of making the move that they want. So if Leipzig say to United, look, this deal's going to happen with Rasmus Hojlund coming in. If United want to pay a certain amount of money for Benjamin Sesko, and Leipzig say, well, you can only have that certain amount of money. Like I just said then, United could get this done and wrapped up for 65 million quid. But Leipzig could come to United and say, we want to loan Rasmus Hojlund for a season, for that to be the money. Otherwise, it's the top end of the actual price brackets and where we're actually at. So, yes, that's where I feel the situation is right now and what's been discussed within Manchester United and Leipzig. Right, let's get a few more comments in on this. Let's get some thought in from everybody. Mr. Dacia Sandero says, "Hi Adam, it is very concerning that we are taking an age on transfer talks / negotiations. I'm happy who we have bought in, but we need to get a move on. Rasmus needs to stay as we need him." I don't think it's taken an age. I really don't. I think I answered this same question again last night in that this is on Benjamin Sesco. Manchester United have come in. We've had about, 10 days worth of talking, and we're about to find out the decision, and this is going to move forward. I don't think it's been taking an age for Manchester United to make transfers or negotiate. I really don't. I think it's been down to Benjamin Sesco taking his time. By the way, everybody, thank you so much for all of the likes. I do apologise. I've had I don't know what happened to me this morning regarding my throat, but yeah, it kind of hit me just while we started talking. So when you wake up in the morning and you don't start talking until like the show starts, well, I know not all of you do because not all of you do shows like I do on YouTube, but yeah, it hit me as soon as I started talking. So apologies if I've had to just adjust a couple of times. I know it's not nice to listen to, but yeah, I think I've got it sorted now anyway. I'll grab myself a drink in a minute. If Newcastle are negotiating add-ons and a sell-on clause, doesn't that mean the deal is nearly done? No, they're not, really. It's all down to what Roamno said. It's up to Benjamin Sesco. Newcastle are done if Benjamin Sesco says he wants Manchester United. If Newcastle are... Look, Newcastle are preparing this deal to happen quickly. They can do all the negotiations that they want. They can talk about everything to get this deal finalised behind the scenes. But if Benjamin Sesco says no, then the deal's off. It doesn't matter. But Newcastle need to be fully prepared and ready to go and get him in quickly so they can deal with Alexander Isak. So I don't think Newcastle negotiating this even more, add-ons, sell-ons, everything like this, if they are negotiating that, I would expect Newcastle to be doing that now, because if Benjamin Sesco says, bang, yes, let's do this, I'm a Geordie, they need to move quickly because they've got this Isak deal and that situation pending. So I'd expect Newcastle to be fully on, ready to go. But this is pending. This is where this is a bit of a strange one, this whole transfer saga. It's that everything right now is being negotiated. Everything's being talked about. But it's all pending on one man's decision. It is all on Sesco making the call. United are ready. Newcastle are ready. Like Roamno said. But the only difference this is going to be, the only difference that this is going to be going into today is if Benjamin Sesco chooses Newcastle or United. That's it. Everything's pending on this. Both clubs are negotiating every single part of it. Like we heard last night from the German sources, Leipzig are talking to all parties last night. United are just keeping it quiet. Newcastle are trying to make this public to show that they're in the power position. They're in a position where they're closer than Manchester United. I think that this now is United behind the scenes quietly confident that they can get this deal done. But Newcastle are just trying to be loud and proud about it, I think. I think it's going to come down to Manchester United making that bid very quickly once Benjamin Sesco says yes. And then we'll find out about all of... Thank you. And then we'll find out about all of the negotiations that United have had. I expect United to have this lined up, ready to go, is what I'm saying, like I said before. But Newcastle will also have this lined up and ready to go. They have to. I'll just quickly get a quick drink. Oh, my throat. What happened? What happened overnight? Anybody with any questions on anything else, please do get them in to the comment section. London, thank you for the gifted membership, my friend. By the way, if you was interested in the growth of the channel and everything that's happening, we are only 28 subscribers away from 94,000. We're nearly at the next 1,000 mark. My God, it is moving fast. It seems like we're still a bit away from the 100k, but then every single 1,000 that comes off actually just makes you feel, God, this is actually nearly there. It's crazy. Thank you so much for all the support on the channel, everyone. Keep liking the video. We've already passed 500 for this morning. And obviously make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please, everyone, be part of the journey. Better late than never. Good morning, FUTV family. We are so slow in the market. Adam had a brown beard when the window started. Enough said. No, stop bringing up my facial hair and how I'm aging. That's just talking about United Daily that does that to me. We are not slow. I don't think we are slow. I think we have moved incredibly well in this transfer market. And again, if everything's done in the time period, then everybody's happy. I am not bothered if deals get done late on in the window. I'm not bothered if most of the deals are done in August. I really don't care. I don't fall into this. We are moving very slow. I don't fall for that in like what other people are saying, driving the negatives. I'm not saying Sean is. I know Sean is just making a joke about me there on that one. But I actually think that United have been very, very sensible with their business this summer. I do. And if we start the season with that front line, is anybody going to be unhappy? Are you going to moan about how it's taken Manchester United so long? Are you going to try and find a negative out of how Manchester United have been so slow in this transfer window? You can do if you want, but you're fighting against yourself, and you know you are, because you're happy that United have got this business done. They've negotiated hard. They have made sure that players want to be at Manchester United. They have vetted, they have researched, they have recruited. They have done everything that we have been screaming out as a fan base to do for the last 10 years in this transfer window. And people are still trying to find negatives within it. Look, we are going to be ready to go for this season. Pre-season has been the best it has been for ages. We are ready. It's if we bottle it on the day and these players turn up on the pitch and do what they did last season. That's the only thing that I'm waiting and worrying about right now. Honestly, I'm loving everything that's happened in this transfer window. I am absolutely over the moon with it, and no one is going to convince me otherwise. I know you've all got your own opinions of it, and you would like it done a certain way. We're all different. That's why Forever United TV is the best, and we can bring in everyone's opinions on it. Even when you're doing a super chat to take the mick out of my facial hair and how I've aged by about 10 years in talking about Manchester United's transfer window, because it's one of them mad ones, isn't it? I have just seen an article about a new stadium, so embarrassing. Anything to do with money is not straightforward with this club. No, it's a massive business that we allowed leeches to come into and fleece. And now we have to deal with all of that negative headlines, West. It is what it is. I've seen them reports on the stadium as well and fighting over that piece of land and the problem that we've got. Let them deal with it. Let them deal with it. We can't stress ourselves over that. The most important thing isn't the stadium. The most important thing is what happens on that pitch, and giving value for money to these fans and challenging again. The stadium only happens if Manchester United is successful. We cannot be thinking about the stadium at this point. It's years and years and years away. I'm not even thinking about where I'm going to be sat in a brand new stadium just yet. It's good to have a sort of, it's good to imagine where it might be and what it might be like, but I don't really care right now. All I care about is the football. 4 weeks to go. Do you think they can be organised and get one of the turds flushed a week, or will it all happen at the very end, nail-biting fashion? At the end, in nail-biting fashion, Rose, mate. I think it is. With all the players leaving, I do believe it will be along the lines of, right at the end of the bleeding window. Adam, why are you surprised about the growth of your show? You're great and very welcoming. Big up to you, and keep up the keep it up. Real easy to watch show. Keep it going, Adam. Mods and chat. Thank you for that, Peter, mate. Really appreciate that. We will be doing tomorrow another call-in show after the lives on YouTube as well, with a look back on the game and everything that's happening around the club. So if you want to have your say, we're going to be doing that on Big Up as well. The mods are dropping all of the links into the chat regarding all of your opportunities with Match Bingo and OK Jerseys for your retro kits. Check them out as well, everybody. All of your top kits and training kits on there. That's where I found all of mine that I've been sporting over the last few weeks. Not wearing one today because I'm straight out after this. I've got a very, very busy morning. Well, in fact, I'm straight onto football talks after this, which you will be redirected to anyway. I'm going to continue the conversation. Only Mbumo was a bit slow for me because of Brentford. I am praying for a goalkeeper. If no one comes in, then Heaton has to be our number one. What do you think? I've always backed Tom Heaton. Heaton is a legend. at Manchester United. He will be an even bigger legend if he displaces Andre Onana this season. Look, stay calm on the goalkeeping situation. Ruben has come out and said that Andre Onana will be Man United's goalkeeper at the start of the season. He is going to improve like every other player has improved. I don't believe in that, is my honest opinion. I don't believe that Andre Onana is going to improve just the same as an outfield player. The goalkeeper is different. His fitness, I'm not worried about. It's his agility. Can he learn how to jump? Can he learn how to save a ball with one hand? Can he learn how to kick a ball straight without it bobbling to his colleague? Can he change the way he is character-wise? No, and no, is my opinion on that. Yeah, he might be able to kick a ball straight. I might be a bit disrespectful there, but I'm worried about Andre Onana like everybody else. But I do think there is something coming on the goalkeeper by the end of this window. But at the moment, it's quiet. There is no extra news on the goalkeeping side of things, guys. It is all being forced news-wise onto the striker. All we're going to hear about over this week is Benjamin Sesco. We are hearing, of course, and this is interesting, Rasmus Hojlund, I did say a talk about him as well. The news from Simon Stone last night coming out, who's in the States, talking to Manchester United. He was the one that said that Manchester United don't need to sell to go and buy Benjamin Sesko. But United would be happy to let Rasmus Hojlund go under the market value. They're happy to let this kid go now for 30 million quid. Sell him, gone, off the books. They will take the loss. I don't know how they're managing that. I don't know how the figures are being worked into Rasmus Hojlund going cheaper than the book value. Look, it is what it is with Rasmus Hojlund. Someone's made a cutthroat decision there. Again, like, he's had a good pre-season. He'll play again tonight. We'll be watching him tonight. Hopefully he scores again tonight. Look, I want him to succeed. I do. But I'm a fan that's going to be sat in the stands next season that has watched 2 years of this kid just completely flap around at everything. Whether or not it works for him behind Benjamin Sesko, if we get Sesko, if United don't get Sesko and Rasmus stays, look, there's a lot of different situations that can happen from now until the end of the season. I feel like we're in a position now where we're just waiting to see what United do with Sesko, and then I think it will all fall into place with what's happening with Rasmus Hojlund. We do have a poll running as well. Over 1,600 of you have voted. So I'm expecting a big turnout on this watch-along tonight because 56% of you have said that you're going to be on the watch-along later on this evening. I can't wait for the game, honestly. Mbeumo debut and Mbeumo and Cunha starting together with Bruno and Ahmad. I'm like so excited to watch this game tonight. It is going to be an absolute ball, honestly. Baller central. There's going to be goals in this game tonight. I cannot wait to watch that one. But yes, Mbeumo's debut in a red shirt and Mbeumo and Cunha starting the game together. Bring it on, is what I'm saying. Right, into the Rasmus news as well. Get your comments coming in on that. 30 million is what Simon Stone has said Manchester United are willing to accept. Very cheap. Keep your comments coming in. 30 mil plus 15% sell on to recoup some losses. That's the point. There will be a sell-on. Maybe Manchester United will get back their book value for Rasmus if he's sold on again. Look, I would loan him. If you're looking to move him on, loan him. That value will go up. Another year of payments gone. Sell him next season. If he goes to Italy, he'll thrive. If he goes to Germany, I think he'll thrive. I think he will succeed. The peak, the sort of peak, the top level, elite level is Premier League football. You need to be a different level of player to get success in the Premier League. You have to have something different about you to make that happen. So, again, I feel like United have looked at this and they're in that position where they're ready to make them big decisions anymore. They're ready to make them decisions now. They want to actually move this forward for Ruben as quick as possible. And if Rasmus goes for 30 million, someone comes in, I think that's cheap. That is very cheap. And I think the Italian clubs will be all over that, if that is true. But Simon Stone does not come out with headlines like that unless they are bang on the money. He's not one to come out and just make up transfer headlines. It's not that type of journalist. And if he's saying 30 million for Rasmus, it's exactly the same as what Laurie Whitwell said, who works alongside him at United for the Athletic. So that's the price for Rasmus Hojlund that you can take as a definite. A couple more chats in. Block again. Adam, please don't forget, it's the hope that kills you. 5 minutes after kickoff against Arsenal. We will be back at that same old feeling. I can't wait. I love football. I hate it for that, but it takes you on a journey, doesn't it? The hope of pre-season and then being smacked in the face with reality as soon as the real football starts. I've been there, mate. I know. And I will be a lot greyer by the end of this season. I guarantee it. And by the way, it is my birthday 2 weeks today on the opening day of the season when we go Arsenal. So my first game back is on my birthday against Arsenal. I have never lost a game on my birthday, and it always happens at the start of the season. So 17th of August, is it going to be the first time ever that United have lost a game when it's been on my birthday? Opening day at Old Trafford, United have never lost in the Premier League era. Oh, God, I'm setting this up for a right old fall now, aren't I? Oh, God. Andrea says, well then, Hojlund to Newcastle. Yeah, that would be salt in the wounds for Geordie fans. That really would. That's like Newcastle taking Darwin Núñez after giving Liverpool Alexander Isak. So excited to see United play live in person for the first time today in Atalanta. Good on you, Michael, mate. Hope you have an absolutely brilliant time there. Let us know. Come back into the chat afterwards or on the next day, mate. Let us know what your experience was like. I've got a feeling you're in for a right old game, buddy, but thank you for the super chat as well, mate. I hope you have an absolute mint day. Again, for anyone overseas and wondering what mint means, it means great in Mancunian slang. Sorry. I have to explain that every single time. Yeah, you're right, realist. I'm 30. Whoop. No, I'm not. I've seen a lot in my time. Right, okay. Brighton beat us. Did Brighton beat us on the opening day? I'm sure that was the second game, wasn't it? I'm trying to remember now, actually. It might have been Ten Hag's. Was it Ten Hag's first game? Yeah, you might be right on that one, sorry. Yeah, you just killed it for me. Never mind. But I'm going to hold on to it. Not been beat on my birthday when it's been my birthday on kickoff. And I've had a few of them, actually, because of when my birthday is. And it always starts it's always around the start of the season. So, yeah. Question, Rasmus... sorry, where's that gone now? Sorry. Rasmus goes. Sesco gets an injury. It's AFCON. Then what? Well, we can think about the doom and gloom, mate, all you want. Or you can actually prepare for a season with not thinking that way. Look, if you think that there's going to be an injury or that situation is going to come around all the time, you're going to have to buy about 50 million players just to get by. So, I don't think United are looking at it. But, yeah, I actually feel like Manchester United will do better with Rasmus Hojlund than the team, like I said. United will lose 3 of their players for AFCON, by the way. So you're losing... 4 of their players for AFCON. So you're losing Ahmad, you're losing Mbeumo, you're losing Mazraoui, you're losing Andre Onana. So we do need options. I think we have got options. Ahmad will be a miss. Ahmad and Mbeumo missing for AFCON will be a big miss for Manchester United. Quick gulp before we move on. Garnacho. Now, update from Fabrizio Romano on Garnacho again is that, as quickly, first of all, super chat in there. 30 question mark, is that plus add-ons, Adam, like a transfer? Plenty of add-ons on there, mate. A lot of performance-related add-ons in there, buddy. Definitely. A few people have guessed my age right before. I think I look how old I am, I think, anyway. I hope I do. Anyway. Moving on to Garnacho. Romano said last night Chelsea want Garnacho and RB Leipzig's Xavi Simons. They have got other deals done. They are moving very quickly, as we know, Chelsea. The difference from last night to where we are this morning is a lot of fans have picked up on, again, Garnacho with his social media antics. Now, you can get into a right 2 and 8 if you start to look at every single thing that Premier League players do on social media. But last night, Garnacho liked a post from Fabrizio Romano which had him and Xavi Simons going to Chelsea on it. I know. Are you bothered? First of all, are you bothered that he's doing this? And he comes across right now. The only thing that this is harming is his reputation. Like, he just comes across like a spoilt brat. That's the only way I could describe Garnacho. He just comes across entitled and thinks that he's already made it. That's what I think Garnacho is. He just looks like a man that, for me, feels like he's better than what he is. He's advised terribly and thinks he can do whatever he wants because he's got one goal of the season award under his belt. Like, he honestly feels like he is Ronaldo to me. That's how he comes across. He thinks he's already at that superstar status. Look, mate, there's a reason why you're not getting into the Argentina squad. There's a reason why you've been binned off by Manchester United. You have let yourself go. But him liking that post last night, Chelsea are going to come in for Garnacho, and someone put a comment in earlier on in the chat saying, is it going to come down to the last knockings of the window when all of these players end up leaving Manchester United? I do think that is what's happening. United, I think, are just making them sweat as well. Like, I guarantee you, the representation of Garnacho, Antony, and maybe even Jadon Sancho, all of these players was thinking that United don't have the money to make these deals happen and go out and get the players that they want. Therefore, they're going to have to accept what the players like Garnacho, Sancho, and Antony, they're going to have to accept the offers that are in for them, the low ball offers, so they can move. It's not the case. And United coming out and getting Sesco is a big moment for them. It's like, wow, there's another forward in. Garnacho right now, in his head and in Antony's head, Manchester United are bringing in players to replace Antony, Rashford, Sancho and Garnacho without any of them being sold. Well, Rashford's gone on loan, obviously. That was the one. To be honest and fair to Rashford, like, he's the only one that's seen sense and made a move happen quickly by taking a pay cut and going on loan. He's the only one, really, because you're thinking about it. Antony's position has been replaced, so too Garnacho, so too Sancho's. All of the players that United are bringing in are players to replace these bomb squad players. So if they're thinking that United need to sell them to move players in, United have gone and got business done. So if them players now don't find a football club, they're going to be stuck. And it's like we're not going to play football. We've been replaced. And there's players ahead of us anyway in this squad. We're going to be stuck. So make something happen. I think United have played this nicely. They haven't buckled. They haven't jumped to the stupid low ball bids. And these players now are sat here going, we need to be playing football. We need to be in that World Cup squad. It's getting embarrassing for them now. Their reputations, and it works the other way. I'm not kidding myself. It is double-edged. Obviously, you're going to get the aftermath, which is that everybody's going to take advantage of United because these players are not wanted and we're going to get low ball offers. But I think the fact that United have waited it out and let these players sweat and have not buckled. Look, United will have Sancho, Antony and Garnacho sat there doing nothing if it means that they have stood their ground and have been strong with what they want for these players. I think United could afford to have all of them players there because they know that they'll end up being desperate and take that move in January. So it's up to them. I do believe, look, I don't think that will happen. I think United are happy to do that. I think that is part of the plan. The long game is letting these players sweat it out. But I think something will happen before the end of the window. Some form of deal somewhere in the middle will actually get met and the prices will be there. If 10 more people subscribe to Forever United TV, we're going to hit the next 1,000 while we're actually live. We could hit 94k while live this morning, everybody. Is there 10 people that have not subscribed that want to subscribe right now? It's up to you, of course. But I'm just saying we're 10 away. Thank you. You did an amazing job this morning in bumping them numbers up. So thanks again if you have just subscribed. Welcome to Forever United TV, everyone. Nearly 800 likes as well on the show this morning. Only losing 3 players for AFCON and Anna is a problem. Not a player. Worst keeper in United's history. I get what you're saying there. Totally. And when you look at what's actually happening right now with United, you look at the situation with Garnacho, Sancho, all of the transfers coming in. Again, I keep saying this constantly all of the time. As a United fan, you have to have taken encouragement from how Manchester United has operated this season in terms of how we've changed our tact when dealing with players, problem players, when we're dealing with transfers, standing our ground, vetting players, making sure they want United, making sure that the characteristics of these players are right. I listened to Ruben Amorim's interview yesterday on MUTV. It was brilliant. It was open. He was very clear with his message. He knows exactly what he's doing. You can feel a difference in Manchester United already. You can see what's going on with the players. He hears it. He hears it in the noise, he said. But in terms of the players that are coming in as well, he knew what he wanted with the current squad and who he wanted to work with. He knows what players he wants in at Manchester United. The list has been made. The plan was drawn out. They're now trying to implement that plan. And this is where we're at. We're right at the end of this plan. We're into the last 4 weeks of it now. And Sesco is the next name on the list. So just to bring you the news on Sesco. Wow, by the way, we just smashed over 94,000 subscribers. I didn't even see it then, but it just blew over quickly. Amazing. Thank you very much, everybody. The next 1,000 is in the bag. Quickly topping you up on the news. Sesco agent in Leipzig now to finalise what Benjamin Sesko's deal is and where he is going. That is the big update on it. United and Newcastle are working on the deals for the player in hope that he says yes for them. Newcastle are not on that special list. Manchester United have not bid because if Sesko tells Leipzig that he wants United, United are on his special list. And that special list is that gentleman's agreement, if you're wondering what I'm on about there, like some lunatic, like it's Christmas morning. No, Benjamin Sesko has certain clubs that if he says to Leipzig he wants to go to, there is a set price in place between certain marks, and United could get Benjamin Sesko over the line for as little as 65 million. Newcastle have already bid just under, in total, 70 million. 69.5 million is where the bid is at right now. So people talking about bidding wars, not going to happen. If Newcastle find out that Sesko wants United and their stipulation will be that that's it. We are the only club bidding for Benjamin Sesko. That's why United have not bid. That's why it's taking so long, or how it feels like it's taking long. But Sesko knows what United want. Sesko knows United want him. I think if he says he wants United, then he's convinced and his agent's convinced that United have got the money to go in and get him, and it's not going to be an embarrassing situation where he says he wants Manchester United, but then obviously we don't have the money to buy him. United are ready to go, and that was confirmed by Roamno. United will also take 30 million for Rasmus Hojlund in any deal for any club right now. And we are talking here, Garnacho being done by the end of the window. He's still kicking up a stink behind the scenes. Liking posts from Roamno, linking him to Chelsea. Again, get into the comments and let me know what you think about that one. We have gone over on the show this morning. Absolutely brilliant. Could have carried on. I'm going to take you over to Football Talks. We're going to talk a bit about Bruno Fernandes on there as well, actually, and what's actually going on in the rest of the Premier League. So if you want more conversation, you want to carry on the chats and get involved, come and join me on my other channel, Football Talks. We're heading over there in just a minute. So please put a like on this video. Hit that subscribe button. 94k in the bag. Thank you, everybody. Absolutely buzzing with that. We move forward again. I'll see you over on Football Talks in just a minute. Mods, thank you. Super Chats, legends, new members, new subscribers. Thank you so much, everyone. We're nearly at the 100k mark, which is ridiculously epic. But for now,